Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet, and the other stations are tuned into.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn connects you with experts from all over the world to help you take charge of your career, your business, and your life. Rap along with us. Visit drjacalyn.com to learn how to become a guest or a sponsor. And now, the doctor is in.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. We are so thrilled to have you here on Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn in the name of love. Everybody loves love, falling in love, meeting someone, completing your life and sharing with someone. It's just a beautiful thing, whether it's love for yourself, love for others. It's also important, and that's what this show is about. I am your host, your executive producer, director, and broadcast engineer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. And with me, as always, is the lovely Kimmy Seltzer. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. It's so nice to see you in your blue. You look very vibrant and cheery.
Thank you. It's been really cloudy here in LA, so I had to put on some color to give some brightness to the day. And I find color always does that.
Yes, it definitely does. We talked about that in terms of your style, your image, your branding, and maybe breaking out of black once in a while, which is what I'm in a lot. Right? But I have these jumbo earrings on, so I thought, that
you have the sparkles and you have the red lips, so you got it going on. I like it.
Thank you, Kimmy.
I have to share something that happened last week that was so amazing, and it pertains to the show today because I did my first speaking gig since the pandemic, and it was in person, and it felt so good. It felt so good to be amongst humans and finding that energy. And, of course I love the radio and podcasting and all that, but there was just nothing like the real thing, and I talked about creating confidence and charisma with, the way you dress, the way you communicate, all of that. And it just felt good to be in a dress and heels again. I just had to share that.
No, congratulations. I think that's excellent. I'm glad to hear it. And I'm going to spotlight you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about all the things that you're doing? We could be here for a week. So if you're doing so many things, we want to hear about it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Well, like I said, it was the first time back after a while speaking about that. And I'm really excited on top of that for people who are thinking about getting back out there and getting your flirt on and how to create chemistry. And, whether it's been a while because of the pandemic and the social the social muscle has been atrophied for a little bit, or you've never, been quite confident when it comes to flirting and creating chemistry when on dates or in social events. I have my first dating master class around creating chemistry May 24th. So I am super, super excited about it. If you are interested in that, you can just go to askkimmy.com and just drop me a note and say you're interested, and I'll put you on the list. So I'm super excited about that. I think that's the thing that has been the buzz lately, is about getting back out there and how do we do it? And it's a different world, and it's almost like a do-over and a reset all in one breath. And so I think it's just getting used to being amongst each other again, but also it's a really exciting time. And I know depending on where you are in the world, it's different for everybody, but there's just a lot of transitions happening right now. So I'm excited.
Fantastic. And I know you're always up to great things. So I'm so glad that you have time for our show, because you really bring a lot of value and great perspective. So thank you.
Oh, I love being here. And I love the topic today because it is about networking and, connecting. And so, I'm excited about the guest.
We have a wonderful guest, and I have to thank Mr. Philip Chan because he's bringing us the best people. Her name is Priya. I've never met a Priya before, Priya Gohel, and she's joining us. She's staying up late, and she's joining us from the UK. So let's bring her on. Hello, how are you?
Hey, hi. How is everyone?
Fantastic. Thank you again for staying up late and for being here today. You look bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to go.
And she also has the red lips going. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
So,
gives me that bit of oomph with the black. I think it gives, a little bit extra, and it's that love, isn't it?
it sure is. It's the love. Do you typically wear a lot of black clothing?
I used to. I have now gone into a little bit of florals with the weather getting better. So I do like a little bit of color like Kimmy saying that when the weather's down, I do try to pick myself up with a little bit more color. But hands up, I am one of those that does wear a lot of black.
Well, with your
Well,
skin tone, though, I have to say, black looks beautiful, with your dark hair. And I love the pop of color on the lips. And, for me, it's about as long as you're incorporating color in some way or sparkle, like in Dr. Jacalyn's case, like I think it can still have the same impact.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I love that. Priya, we'd love to hear a little bit about you. I just want to bring up a couple of your photos before you start. And if you could just share with us any background information about this, I think it'd be great. So here's the first one. Priya Coaching Impossible Means I'm Possible. Message me to find out more and book your first consultation free.
Yeah, this is basically an intro to my website and an introduction to yourself, because we make life sometimes so difficult, and we assume we can't do things, and we like to use, oh no, that's just not possible. That is completely impossible. I can't achieve. But when we break up this word impossible and we just split it up just slightly, all it means is that you are possible. I am possible. And I think it's such a powerful word, but actually relayed out to the world in the incorrect sense. So we've just got to go out there and re-educate people. Impossible means I'm possible.
I like it. I like it a lot. You work a lot with teens, is that correct?
I do, yes.
Can you share more about that?
Sure. So I come from a banking background. However, one of my passions, and actually it wasn't just mine, my husband and I always believed that there was another way to become financially free. And through that journey, if you like, we became very in tune with the personal development side of things, because you develop and you change your circle of influences as time goes on. And we've been in that personal development space for now over 20 years, 25 years actually. And what we've learned is that through that space, and we incorporated network marketing with that. And I know that's a really hot subject in the US. At the time when we were doing it here in the UK, it was quite relatively new. Although there were some old dinosaur companies, it was still quite a new concept here in the UK. And we were very young at the time and very open. So I always say that your mind works best when it's like a parachute, when it's all open. And we just soaked in as much information as we could. And we learned a lot of different attributes within that industry, which allowed us to become financially free to a certain degree, to where, we didn't have to worry about the bills anymore. We were holding down a job as well as, which was full-time, but incorporating the network marketing side and made that our full-time thing, if you like. And it just took over our full-time employment. And we were very humbled, if you like, that aspect of our life took us to lots of different aspects. And I know there's a couple of pictures that actually show that part of me.
Yes, I'll bring them up now. Here's the first one.
So that's one in London, and we had over 1,000 people at that particular event. And I was very privileged, as I was doing a training on dreams. And why that particular training is so important to me, and why I think it actually is a little bit about your show as well, In the Name of Love, is because my personal take with this was actually really, really important to me, purely because in 2014, December 2014 to be precise, New Year's Eve, I was at a crossroads in my life. And although I was, when you say you're completely broken, so everything was good, there was nothing for me to complain about, but I wasn't where I wanted to be. And it I actually literally had a mini breakdown, and I'm a mother of three beautiful young men. At the time, my youngest was about 8, 9 years old. And I sat with him on New Year's Eve and said, oh, life is just not going my way. And I was having a little meltdown. And he goes, Mum, look, you teach people about vision boards and dream boards. You need to love yourself a little bit more and just take some of your own medicine. And at that point, I just sat up and listened. And I thought, oh, yes, I really do. And New Year's Days, when we created our very first vision board or dream board, and we went back to being a child and having no restrictions, no filters, and literally just putting everything and anything we wanted on that vision board. Long story short, everything that I'd put down on that vision board and more by the end of 2015 had come true. It had all happened. So yeah, and it was the love of my child that actually engrossed me to actually pursue that, because I felt like I was being a little bit of a fake, like we say, we walk your talk. But at that point, internally, I was having a battle, which meant that I wasn't able to do that properly. Although I was giving this great information out, I wasn't able to take that same medicine myself. So for me, that was again, through love and compassion within my own household, through my own boys, that allowed me to be, become a blossom, become that flower.
I love that. I just want to comment because in the name of love, right? Like, as we're talking about that in the show, is that it is about that self-love. And what you said is so true. I think, especially as women, we give, and we're so focused on the output that we don't even expect the input for ourselves, right? And so I think when you flip the script and you started like really taking a look at, wait a second, I got to fill my cup first and I got to walk the walk, talk the talk. That's when you started attracting everything else, and it's like so symbiotic. So I really like that.
I like it too. Would you be open to sharing with us one or two of the things you had on the vision board?
Yeah, absolutely. So at that time, it was very materialistic things, simple things, which were very big for me, was leaving my full-time employment with a 3-month salary through my network marketing business. I actually smashed that, did it in the time scale that I'd actually put down for myself. One of the other major things was, actually, there was so many big things I put down. One of the biggest things was to go to Disney. So Kimmy, coming to your end of the world.
Oh my gosh, you should have visited me with your Mickey ears.
Did you go to Disney World or Disneyland?
We did Disney World.
Oh, okay. Disney World. Oh, that's in Florida, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we did the Florida, and it was amazing. So I wanted to do it with no restrictions and telling the boys that they didn't have to share an ice cream, things like that, and shop till you drop. I wanted it to be that lifestyle where we could just go out and do what we wanted and enjoy it to the max. And we did exactly that. That same year, my boys turned 18, 16, and the little one just turned, he was in his last year as single figures. So it was a special year, although every year is special. That particular year was very special for us, that our boys were growing up. Our eldest went to university. My husband gave up his employment. I wanted a Mercedes. We bought a Mercedes. So, yeah, we did loads of things. Everything happened.
It was all on the board. I love that. Go ahead, Kimmy.
I have a question, because I know, and I deal with this with my clients a lot too. It's like, when you get in that state where it feels impossible, like I love how you talk about the impossible and the possibilities. Where does someone get started? They're listening to this, they're like, yeah, I want to do a vision board, but they just feel like it's impossible. Like, what are a few steps that people can take?
So number one, if you have children, sit down with your child, because they have no filtration. They're not scared. They're not, they're not frightened to speak their mind, and they just tell you as it is. So sit down with them and ask them what they want. So that will help you rewind back to the days when you weren't filtered and you weren't, vomited on with all the information that we've got now. So that would be number one. If you haven't got children around you, borrow a child, go and have a niece or but have someone that has a child, I would say under 10, because at that point they're still quite naive. I would not say naive. They are the right people to talk to because they know what they want.
Yeah.
I love
isn't
that.
it true how as we get older, there's a certain car that I really want, and I say to myself, you don't need that, and people are going to look at you and go, why does she need? And then, but when you're younger, you don't care. Like you just say, this is what I want. So I never did a vision board, but I do have a car that I want, and it's a Maserati. And I really want that car, but I feel like I have to put it on a board. I think I have to I've said it out loud. You hear me, universe. Hello, universe.
Wait, Dr. Jacalyn, put it up here, right on StreamYard. Come on, then we can manifest it with you. We'll see it right here.
Okay, I will. I'll put a banner during the break.
Okay, perfect.
So we actually need to take a break right now. We're having so much fun. So we'll be right back. We're going to hear from some of our sponsors, and we've got a lot of show left. So stay with us, and we're going to hear about careers. So if anybody out there is looking for somebody to help them with the career change, we're going to hear from 2 experts. All right, here we go.
Have you just lost your job or have been laid off and you are looking to transition to a new job or career? Maybe you have even tried submitting tons of applications and yet you keep getting turned down for jobs you qualify for. Don't wait until you become overwhelmed with rejections when you can easily transition or get your dream job. Let MJW Careers guide you to the right career path and a better, brighter future. At MJW Careers, we know what hiring managers are looking for, and our goal is to land you the job you deserve. What makes MJW Careers a wonderful provider over other services is our pragmatic and scientific approach to resume writing. There are rules, there are visual cues, there are content best practices. We understand those and work within the boundaries to ensure our clients' messaging appeals to the decision makers. Our career consultants will help you transition into new roles quickly and effectively. With our experience in virtually every industry, we will provide direction in the frustrating job market by helping you write a customized, professional resume and prepare you for your interview as well. Join the great number of people we have helped scale up to greater things in their careers. Let us help you on your career journey. Come visit us, www.jobstickers.com, to learn more and grab a free resume review or ebook.
Networking sucks and people suck at it, but nothing gives me more life than walking around and talking to people in an audience and really being able to identify, okay, I see where you're having trouble, let's work on fixing it. How do you help them? How do you provide value? My goal is to give them those tools to be able to go out and tackle that fear. Anywhere there's coffee is where I'll be. So I bring candy a lot to my speaking engagements. Like, of course that makes sense. I'm a little unconventional.
Ashley was very knowledgeable.
Very entertaining.
I learned a few new things, and to me that's the key.
What do you want them to say? How do you want to be perceived? You're going to get the most direct, tactical tips and practical takeaways when it comes to networking. These 2 here are super important. You'll remember once the conversation starts.
I love the tips that she gave out. I hate networking with a passion, so I feel like I can go to a meeting or event and not feel so uncomfortable.
When you're going to a presentation, you want to be educated. You also want to be entertained.
She was really fun and really personable, and everything she was saying was just very relatable.
She's got a lot of great ideas.
That will make you stand out so fast.
She comes across as someone that likes what they do and just doesn't try to sell you something.
Activity breeds results. If you're not doing anything, you're not going anywhere.
Just made me want to start networking, which I never thought I'd say before.
A networking strategy that works for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
welcome back to Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn in the Name of Love. I'm with my co-host Kimmy Seltzer and our guest Priya Gohel. She is a life coach extraordinaire. She is a business owner and she's also a speaker and a mother of 3. Thank you so much again for staying up late to join us. So we were having a really good discussion, and I thought about something during the break, which is kind of why we have sponsors, and I played those sponsorships. When we think about loving ourselves, right, and we think about acknowledging during this pandemic the things maybe we want to get rid of and the things that we want to grow, you think about your network and how to expand that and how to expand into your community and how to spread love as opposed to asking people for things. When you think about your network, how about giving back? How about sharing the love? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah,
I'll start
absolutely.
with you.
Sorry. Yeah, absolutely. Because that is everything. I think we all learn so much from each other. And this pandemic, if not nothing else, has shown us that completely, where we've been so isolated in our little cubby holes and not had that human touch. Like Kimmy said, it was so nice to get out there, being at a live event and feeding off that energy from what people are doing. To me, that it's, I'm in my happy place at that point. I'm not working, that's me completely I'm in my flow, and you need to shut me up. You need to get me off to because I can just ramble. And I think that's something that I think a lot of people miss. We may say we're introverted and we don't like talking to people, but I think this last 18 months, 12 months has shown a lot of us that actually people are important. Meeting and greeting people, even just out in the shops and going out for a coffee or whatever it may be that, tickles you, just doing those things are so, so important. So for me, yes, absolutely.
Kimmy, I have a little bit of a different question for you. Thank you, Priya. So when we look at a lot of the activities that we've been busy with, let's say Clubhouse, Lunch Club, social media, do you think we're going to give it all up? Do you think we're just going to say, you know what, I just want to have in-person connections?
That's a good question. It's something that everybody is talking about too. And I think it's a little bit like what I call the pendulum effect. You get into one thing because something else is absent. And then now we have opportunity to go somewhere else. I was joking the other day when I was talking about, I'm predicting that this summer is going to be, at least here in the United States, is going to be a little bit like Girls Gone Wild. And I think we're going to go crazy, and then I think we're going to recalibrate, as all pendulums do, and come somewhere in the middle. I think, it's about a balance, but I think that craving of connection was making people go on Clubhouse, go on more social media stuff just to get some sort of connection going. And I love what you were saying about that and the energy that gets created from it. When I work with people on networking, whether it's like going out and helping them flirt or just being more socially confident, I tell people really just work on the word being curious and connecting. And I think that helps you get more present, because I think so many times everyone's in their head worrying about what other people think and feel, what should I say, da 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 da. And I think for the most part, that is something that I think everybody should really work on, is how can we stay present? Because what I think this pandemic has taught us too is there's so much uncertainty, right? We don't know what tomorrow will bring. All we know is what's today, and to really embrace that.
Right. Good answer. Good answer. Priya, would you like to weigh in on that?
Yeah, I completely would agree with what Kimmy's just said there. The other thing that I think is that we, like the pendulum effect, I think what we will do as well is make it very hybrid. I think why we may go back to actually meeting people live would be because we've craved it for so long, and that choice has been taken away from us. So just for a little while, I agree, we will be going a bit crazy and then coming back and probably having that hybrid situation where we've got that choice to do this. Because take me away 20 months ago, I would have gone for, oh yeah, let's just go online because it's easier. I don't have to travel. I don't have to do this. Now it's like, oh, let me travel again. Because that choice has been taken away. But once that choice is back in our, in our hands, in our grip, I think we'll go a bit crazy, but then we'll come back to, okay, I've got the choice to do this. So let's just make the best of both worlds.
I think you really hit the nail on the head. It's about the choice. It's about we don't have the choice. And when we think about our friends who, as we mentioned before, in India or Iran, other places where people are still in a lockdown, they don't have a clear path of when they're going to get vaccinated. It's got to be terrifying. Whereas we're on the other end where we're going to have some choices soon. So I know when we're able to fly, I'm going to the UK. I cannot wait to meet all of my new friends in the UK. It seems like such an amazing place to be. So that's
absolutely. You're very welcome.
And then you got to come here. Like we'll do a swap.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll come to Florida any day with the sun.
Priya, we have another picture, and I just I didn't want to forget it. If you would share with us about this, we were giving a speech.
Yeah, so this was a networking event actually, and we were giving out in network marketing. There, when you hit a certain position, you get prizes, you get rewards, you get recognized, and this was where I had the great opportunity to actually give a lot of prizes, a lot of recognition out to people that have worked hard with their teams. And that's the beauty about networking. It really swings everything about. And I think that's why I was so attracted to this industry, was that you're not there for yourself. You're doing it because you're helping others and you're giving back and you're feeding off that energy. You're learning. They become good friends, and they become lifelong friends. And that's something that you can't find in the workplace, I believe. Being employed, there's a certain sort of, there's a glass ceiling and you don't cross that. Whereas here, you're able to do that. And the more you're helping, the more you're actually gaining as well. So my husband says a beautiful, beautiful thing. And he says, if you serve, you deserve. So yeah, I like to live by that as well.
That's a good motto. I'm just wondering, for folks who might not be aware of what network marketing is, can you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so this industry has been going for actually a good 70, 80 years. And what it is, it's taking a product, if you like, and rather than going through the whole distribution channel, it's product to consumer and then referring it on. So say, for example, like this show that I'm loving it. It's something right up my sleeve. For me to then share it with another person, but then get a monetary value towards it as well by sharing it. That's basically, so you're cutting out the middleman, and the profits that are gained from that is distributed within your network. So it's literally what the big companies do with us minions, but now we're taking a little bit of power back.
And how do people get involved in partnering with you to be part of the team?
So I'm not actually actively in a network marketing company anymore. I've come away from that aspect of it, but I'm coaching people how to be successful in network marketing, because I got so much out of network marketing. But one of the things that I relished on and what really improved my life skills was the actual personal development side of it. And that nobody can take away from you. So that is what I'm coaching people on, of how to become successful within network marketing. Actually, right at this moment in time, I'm writing a course on network marketing. So it's called the Profitable Networkers Program. That will be going live very, very soon. So keep an eye out for that. And that basically gives you like the fundamentals, because there's a lot of people that are very successful. There's a lot of people that fail, and actually the failure rate is higher than the success rate. So it's taking that myth out to say that they say, oh, you got to get in first. Well, no, it's what do you know? How do you know? And it's learning the appropriate skills, like going into a job. You get inducted into a job, you learn your skills where you can take it forward to the next step. The same here, you're learning this industry. The problem is people don't take it as a professional industry. They look at it as a hobby, and then you get paid as a hobby, hence it doesn't work. So it's changing that mindset. So I'm doing, I coach people on that, but on the other side of that as well, life skills and mentoring. One of the things that I picked up from network marketing, there wasn't that many couples working together, and there was a high divorce rate or high failure rate within that industry, purely because one partner was out there doing what they needed to do and fulfilling their dreams, but they were sacrificing that with their personal life. So that's something that I'd like to change in some way or format as well. So through the coaching, I've learned, I've done an NLP, I'm an NLP practitioner as well. So through these different skill sets that I've learned, one of the most valuable lessons, and this is really relevant to your show, is that I learned about the 5 languages of love about, say, 4 or 5 years ago. And it was like, wow, it just took me by like, why did I not know about this before? And it's by a guy called Gary Chapman. You guys may have heard of him, and you may have probably heard about the 5 languages of love as well. And that is something I think that we can incorporate in our everyday life. It doesn't just have to be with your spouse or your lover or, your partner. It can be with everyone and anyone that is in your life, and that's important to you.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm wondering if you would tell us a tip or coaching tip or two that you give to people in terms of, they come to you and they want to get involved with network marketing. What might you suggest that they do as a first step?
So initially, most people are within a network marketing company. So they've already probably, accepted partnering up with a company. So, but they haven't got that mentorship. They haven't got the development side of it. So that's when they get probably referred to me. And we go through like simple steps. Now, there's a lot of things out there, but basically what I've done is over the last so many years, we've learned the building steps, if you like, the building blocks. And I've just put it into a nice 7-step process of how and what you need to do to become very successful within that industry. And it's literally foolproof. Anyone can do it as long as you put your heart and soul into it. It's like anything, but it is a complete foolproof, success rate on there. And many people that I've sort of guinea pigged on it have said, yeah, Priya, it's brilliant. But it's something that I used to use whilst I was network marketing myself. So when I was within a company, these are the tools that I use, my husband and I both use in order to increase our team. So just to give you an idea of how big our teams got when we were actively involved, in our last company, we grew within 20 months, we grew a team to over 40,000 people globally. So we know a little bit about what we're doing.
Wow, that is a big number, 40,000 or more. Oh my goodness. Congratulations.
This is amazing. Like, I didn't even know that there was a whole industry around this. And it's so fascinating to hear about it. Because honestly, I wish I knew you way back when I started my business, because I came from being a therapist and then launching into being an entrepreneur. And I didn't know anything about business or the back end stuff or marketing. I built my business around connecting with people and just learning from the connections and people that I met. So like networking really resonates with me. And what I love about it too is how authentic it can be too. It's not just like, right. Like, it's not just learning a bunch of things and memorizing. It's like, yeah, like how can we make these authentic connections to grow our business? And it just feels better.
Yes.
Definitely does. So I ran a clip for Ashley Owens, Networking Concierge. I think you guys saw that.
Yeah.
And, she's a big reason of how I even got involved with what I'm doing today. But anyway, long story short, she told me when I first met her that when you are looking to network with someone, back in the days of old, you walk in with the business card, you walk into a cocktail party, whatever, and hey, shake hands, here's my card, this is what I do, blah, 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 blah. And she said, you never do that. Never, ever.
Yeah.
You don't talk anything about yourself. It's all about the other person, how you can help them. You don't ask for anything in exchange. You do whatever it is that they ask if you can, and then maybe do a second or a third thing, and then somehow we'll come back to you. But but you don't do it for yourself. And we have a comment from Philip Chan. The 5 love languages are words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Philip.
Thank you, Philip.
We're glad you're watching. So which of those, if we put this back up again, since it is in the name of love, which of these 5 for each of you has the most significance, or, just resonates with you more than the others? Kimmy?
Can I say all the above? But I know. No, I actually use this with my clients. So it is, and there's a whole test you can take to see really what your language is. But, for me, I think the words of affirmation is first, and just having that verbal confirmation that, you're really like hearing each other and connecting with each other. But it's input output too, because I think if one person doesn't have that or doesn't receive it, that's when like a lot of lopsided relationships can happen.
Interesting. Agreed. How about you, Priya?
So actually the same as Kim. So words of affirmation is first, and then for me the second one would be physical touch. And the reason being, they're my number 1 and number 2 priorities. However, what I've learned through this particular exercise was that it's not just about how I want to be received. It's having that language and that communication so that I know that my husband or my, he's getting the right kind of needs that he needs as well. So as long as he knows what my needs are and I know what his needs are, through this language of love has created a lot more harmony, if you like. So even though we've been together 29 years, and wow, where's the time gone?
Wow.
But we're still learning so much. And like I said, this only came to me around about 5 years ago. And I was like, wow, if I'd known this from day one, our lives would have been like so well. But I wouldn't give up my journey for anything, because without that journey, I wouldn't be the person I am.
It's so true. I think for me, I was torn between words of affirmation, but I think it would be acts of service for me right now. So I really like to help people. I like to do these shows to give people a platform to speak. And I kind of feel like that's an act of service. And then what I do with the Crohn's Colitis Foundation fundraising. So yeah, nice little exercise there. Thank you, Philip.
I was going to ask you about, Priya, the NLP, because I have some training in that too. And it kind of coincides with the words of affirmation and all the stuff we've been talking about, the 5 love languages, where, in networking, and this is the thing that I see a lot, is about matching, right? Like, and how we match each other's energy, we match each other's body language, cadence, that kind of thing. And that can create an alignment. Is that something that you teach in yours? You're like, yeah. We speak each other's language, Priya.
Yeah, something completely. I didn't realize we were doing that anyway. A lot of us actually naturally do that. Like you said, matching and mirroring other people, making them feel comfortable. But when you're doing it in awareness, it can just bring so much more to the table and so much more to that meeting or that talk or that chat that you're having. Sometimes we need to be even more responsive. I think what I've learned over the last so many months is that where people feel a little bit more vulnerable as well, and learning to speak their language rather than the way I wanted that conversation to go was actually, it was healing for me. And matching that, I didn't realize how much it benefited myself. So yeah, Kimmy, absolutely. Yeah. NLP and being visual, touchy feely. I am a very I am a touchy feely person. So yeah. So that for me is important. But like I say, learning what the other person wants as well. Yeah.
Very important. We have another comment. Thank you, Philip. He's staying with us for the duration. From the time of a baby, the physical touch is fundamental daily bonding of all humans. I think is interesting about this, I hadn't thought about it until we're just talking about it now, but prior to the pandemic, I would get a massage, maybe get a pedicure, get a manicure, be in a relationship, and now all that's gone. And so I haven't actually focused on the fact that there's no physical touch whatsoever in my life. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but it hasn't been bothering me. But I think that Philip is right, that it is fundamental. And maybe when we don't have it for so long, it's just maybe it's just an instance away. Maybe be in a situation where we'll be with someone and have that kind of connection again.
Yeah, absolutely. For example, Dr. Jacalyn, when we meet people, I don't know whether you guys are like that, but I like to give a hug to the people that I know, and not able to do that right now. So we're in a situation in the UK where we're now allowed to meet people. So it's great that we can actually physically meet, but you're still not allowed to do the hug. I think that they've only just sort of said it this week or next week that we will be allowed to hug people, and it's like it's been such a big thing on the news. We are going to be allowed to hug, but again, having that physical contact, and what it releases, them endorphins and everything and the dopamine that goes with it. It's something that we've always taken for granted. We didn't even realize that we were getting these good feelings since it was taken away, and now we're like, I can't wait to hug you.
Line up in the streets like one person after another. What do you think about the handshake? Will that be coming back?
I think so. I think so too. I think with time.
There's a little trepidation around it, but on top of touch, and it's related to it, is proximity. So we've been now trained to be 6 feet apart from one another, which is also odd when it comes to connecting and conversating. So that's one thing that we also have to get used to, being close to one another again. And I think that's going to be the first step, because there's this weirdness, like back and forth, that you see people like even in the markets and that kind of thing. And so maybe we just dip our little toe in the water and say, hey, can I get a little bit closer and smile, and hopefully we'll be able to hug again.
Yeah.
And yet my understanding is that there's some places, I don't know if it's just localized to the United States, but there's some states that have been open for a long time and people are doing everything and anything. And so I don't, whereas here, I know, we have the 6 feet. So I think it's a learning curve and just a comfort that will have to come over time, to your point.
Yeah, absolutely. Same over here, though. We've still got that 2 meter distance rule. And rightly said that people are vary, whether can we, because you may be willing to, but is the other party willing to as well? So, and you're looking at them trying to judge them that, can I not? Am I allowed to come near to you? Do I need to wear my mask while I'm speaking to you? All of those things. So I think one of the other things that's major here in the UK is, well, not UK, just in England, on Monday will be that schools can now take off their masks. So that's another big step. As well. So yeah.
So now with all these steps, is it predicated on being vaccinated or not?
So because the UK has had such a high intake of the vaccinations, and the numbers have really come down quite drastically over the last couple of months since the vaccinations have taken place. So I think obviously they're making their judgment via that. We're not getting as many young cases that are getting COVID as well. So that's a really good thing. But it's all stabilizing out now. So, call it that herd immunity. It seems it's coming to a plateau. I'd like to say that, it's coming in the right direction. So, yeah.
Excellent. We have one more comment from Philip. And
Philip.
This was kind of funny. I'm an international environmental heat scientist. That is why I have to be around very hot women like you ladies without hugs and freezing.
See, it's proximity from afar, Philip. We're sending you some heat.
Yes, very charming, Philip. I can't wait to meet you in person. So
Dr. Jacalyn, I have a question. Do you have a picture of your car yet? I'm waiting for that picture.
Oh, yes. So, I don't actually have a picture of it, but where I live, I think it was in the summer, I was walking 7 miles, and for some reason, wherever I walked, I would see this car. So it's a white Maserati with red leather interior. I don't know the model
Ooh.
number, but it kept, everywhere I looked, it kept showing up for some reason. And I thought, you know what? I'm supposed to have that car. Now I haven't figured that out. I'm going to have the car, but I'm saying that I'm going to have the car at some point.
Yes, you are.
Now,
that is your car.
Do you have to put a time frame on it or no?
I used to actually do my goals with a time frame on there. I have actually changed my way of doing things now. So a lot more just leaving it to the universe and working towards it. So again, through this journey, I've learned what a lot of people do. They say, yeah, we're doing, and we're leaving it to, we're doing our affirmations, we're putting it out to the universe, we're putting a lot of love and a lot of light out there, which is fantastic and fabulous. However, you need to take action. It's not just going to drop in your lap.
I love that you just said that. Yes.
And that's the little missing piece that a lot of people forget. They tend to do, I love myself, bring light to the world and all of that. But you're not doing the fundamental, is following through and taking action and taking responsibility to make that happen. So that's another big aspect that I teach on my programs, is that be committed to yourself, and again, commitment, I think, again, is very valid within this program, is because we talk about commitment to relationships. We talk about commitment to our job and our parents and so forth. However, what about our own commitment to ourselves? Do we not owe that to us? So us to be committed to ourselves is such a big part of growing as an individual and accepting and learning, and then being more open and receptive to actually increase your wealth of abundance, because it's not going to come if you're not open and you're not committed to yourself. And I think that brings in your self-love, because when you've got that and you're resonating with that, everything else then starts opening up. All those channels, all those chakras start moving, and they get aligned for that to happen. So again, it's taking action.
I really like that you added the action piece. I was working with someone the other day, and the woman is like, I'm just going to manifest. I'm just going to manifest my man. And I said, that's great. And she did a whole vision board and all that. But I said, well, when's the last time you had a date? She's like, 5 years. I said, okay, well, we may need to do a little work in order to help you manifest that man. And so we literally just started with putting a profile up. Let's just put a profile up. Let's do like the tangible small things that you can do to get to that manifestation, right? And so I think that's a really important piece to extract. It's not just about the energy, because also there's a protection mechanism that goes on with that, because we could just like, oh, I'm just thinking about it, or oh, I'm just manifesting it. But at what point do you get a little uncomfortable and put yourself into action? So I love that you just said that.
Right, because without action, there are not going to be results. It's
right.
It's the magic wand. They'll just wave a magic wand. It's all going to happen. No, nothing's going to happen. So.
No, and I think, because I read Rhonda Bryan's Secret, and I thought it was a fabulous book. However, what the missing key for me was that it was all about manifestations and being in the right aligned and that, but it didn't tell me that I needed to take action. And when things weren't going my way, I was like, well, I'm putting the thoughts out there. I know thoughts become things, but hold on a minute. Why is it not happening? Because I'm not doing anything towards it. I'm not moving forward so my thoughts are there, but I'm not following it through. So that's where the shortfall happened. So yeah, same.
You mentioned that you're working on this course. Where can people find it once you're going to put it up? Where will it be on your website?
So it will be on my website, which is, do you mind me saying it?
Yes, because I'm going to run the banner, but for people on the radio who can't read it.
There we go. Yeah, it's absolutely. So you can find me on www.priyagohel.com, and the course will be on there. And it will be publicized on my Facebook channel, Instagram as well. So you can find me on Facebook, Priya Gohel, and on Insta, Priya Gohel 73.
73.
That's right.
Okay, good. Just checking. Well, it's been a pleasure having you here with us. Every time I'm on a show, I just can't believe how quickly things go by because we have such interesting people. Thank you, Philip Chant. So it's been a delight having you here. What would you like to leave our audience with in terms of maybe a coaching tip or maybe just anything you want to share?
I'd like to leave you with my tagline of impossible means I'm possible, and also rise like a phoenix. You're worth it.
I love that. Short, succinct, and to the point, and very easy to understand. So thank you. Philip wants us to know. Wonderful show. Congratulations. Thank you, Philip. We're so happy that you're here with us. All right, Priya, it's been a real delight having you, and we'll look forward to having you back on this show or one of our other shows.
Brilliant. Thank you. It's been amazing. So thank you for having me.
Thanks, Priya.
Thank you. And remember, you can go over to Dr. Jacalyn LLC on YouTube, and you can watch the show, and that's where you can let your network know where it is.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for having me. Ta-da.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
She was really lovely.
I just love her accent. Like I could just listen to her accent all day long.
I know. The people from the UK, everything they say sounds better, doesn't it?
It does. Even like bad things sound good, right? So
I've started adopting some of their terms, like brilliant. I'm saying brilliant all the time. I love it. It's brilliant.
It's brilliant. And even like ta-da. Like ta-da was so much better than like see ya.
Right. Bye.
Bye.
I don't know. It's some of the words that we use here in the States, like the word water, just, I don't know. But when they say it in the UK, everything, as I mentioned, it just sounds, I don't know, more romantic or more intellectual or something.
Yes, it's the delivery. I was talking to someone the other day about just inflection, tone inflection, accents. It's actually considered a non-verbal like cue. You know, it's considered body language, tonality and all that, which is interesting. And so when we're making first impressions, I mean, 93% of communication is nonverbal. When within that, there's a big part of it, and I forgot the percentage, is tonality. So that's why we respond to these different like tones in people's voices. And, you know, we all have different ways that we respond to, but it definitely is a part of like attraction and charisma.
That is so true. Kimmy, I just want to end our show with you sharing some information about where people can get in touch with you. And again, all the wonderful things that you're doing, because you really are changing lives. So please let us know. I'll run your banner as well.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Jacalyn. Well, one is doing Dr. Jacalyn show that you can find us here every Wednesday, 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. I also have a new show on Amazon Live. It's called Kimmy's Love Hub. I do it weekly. If you are interested in that, the best way is actually just to get in my community. And you can do that by going to askkimmy.com and just say, hey, Kimmy, I want to be in your community. Or if you have a dating or style question, you can plop it there. And if you are interested in my new dating masterclass coming up May 24th, definitely, you know, put your name in and your email so that I can put you on the priority list. It's my first class that I'm actually doing with men and women together. You know, we've been separating the boys and girls, and it's time to get everyone in the room and start talking to each other again. And we're going to like really talk about how to create chemistry and flirting and social confidence and all the things that actually we talked about on the show. And again, my website is kimmyseltzer.com. And I also have my own podcast, The Charisma Quotient.
I don't know when you're doing all of this, but it's a beautiful thing. So thank you.
Well, I enjoy it. And it's just like, for me, it is about connection. And I just love connecting, and whether it's through radio or in person. So yeah, and I just thank you for the opportunity to be a co-host with you in the name of love.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that you're here. I think my theme song is going to be "Don't Let the Sun Come Down on Me," because that's why I was like, oh my God, I've already moved this way. So
we're going to turn into, wait, isn't that like Dracula can't see the light? And
yes,
you better hurry.
Exactly. So that's why I was like, oh, I better close the show down because the sun's coming on the green screen. So.
Well, shedding light on you, and you look beautiful. Actually, it had like a halo effect, if anything. So
Well, thank you. You're very kind. I appreciate it. All right, Kimmy, it was lovely seeing you. I'm just going to close out the show with a couple of announcements, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day out there in California.
Thank you. You too. See you next week.
Okay, bye-bye. Hi, everyone. Wow, what a day. 5 shows. We started out in London and we ended in London. How about that? So I just love all of our new friends over in the UK. It's just a fabulous, wonderful group of people. And again, thank you to Priya for being here. Thank you to Philip. I have a couple of announcements. The first is we are really making traction with our program, A Better You. Lessons from the best coaches, consultants, and trusted advisors. Priya might be interested in this. So this is our presentation platform. It is not an interview platform. You come on and you present a lesson for 15 minutes. So coaches like Priya have tons of content that they've developed over time. They can take that content and edit it down to 15-minute lessons, 20 minutes, somewhere around there, but so that it's bite-sized learning, that someone can be on their device, their mobile device, they can take a lesson, watch a lesson for 15 minutes, take a quiz, and then get a certification. And while they're on the platform, they can also play games. They can also be part of the reward and recognition program. So we have 4 shows every week. We just had our first one today, which was right before this program. And you come on and you present your lesson. And so we live stream. So people are watching you and you're interacting with the other guests. And we have about 25 charter presenters, people I have handpicked to be on our team. And the team is growing. And so Priya, invitation to you if you're interested in joining us. The second thing I want to announce is we have a new book. And when I say we, it's because I have a book coach and we have 4 editors, I think. So we're finally finished. Yay. And we are launching the book on my mother's birthday, June 17th, but we're going to pre-sell because I want to go to be a #1 best-selling author. So I'm hoping that you'll help me. We're going to be pre-selling starting May the 19th. We'll have special pricing and I'll announce that on Friday. The last thing I want to mention is tomorrow we have a brand new show. It's called Align Mat, ALIGN-MAT. So you might not know I'm a certified yoga sculpt teacher. I was certified by Core Power Yoga during the pandemic, and I'm a certified meditation teacher. So I am actually going to, by myself, live stream yoga. I'm going to be practicing it. And I'm going to be teaching to everyone. So I have a stage. Here we are on the stage. And we have room for 3 people to be on the stage and actually take the class with me. I had 2 people who were going to do it. And I think they're waiting until next week. So don't be afraid, okay? It's going to be a great class. But the difference between yoga and yoga sculpt, the way I teach it is, we start out with a guided meditation. Then we do some stretching. Then we move into flow. Then we're going to be doing some light weights. If you have some hand weights, we're going to be doing bicep curls. And then we're going to be doing push-ups. So you can do push-ups on your knees, on your toes. You can do it on 1 foot, whatever works for you. We're going to do some planks. Then we're going to move into core. We're going to do squats. We're going to go to cardio. Then we're going to go to spine strengthening series, and then we are going to close it out with a guided meditation. Doesn't this sound like fun? So don't leave me in the lurch. Come and watch or come and be on the stage. If you want to be on the stage, you can just go to our website, drjacalyn.com, book your session. So there are all the announcements I have for today. I'll just share with you the shows we have tomorrow. I just shared with you the first one. That is at 9:30 Eastern Time, which is 2:30 British Summer Time. After that, we have at 12:30, we have It's Your Stage. You get to come on for our show's 40 minutes. You get to come on for 32 minutes and present. Maybe you're a singer. Maybe you're an actor. Maybe you juggle. Maybe you belly dance. Maybe you hula hoop. Whatever it is you do. My co-host is Azadeh, and she's joining us from France. Our guest is Andrew Bayroff, and he's going to be doing some comedy for us. And after that, we have A Better You. And who's our guest? Mr. Ben Chai, the Doctor Who of business. He is also in London. He's all over Clubhouse. He's the author of Social Magnetism. He is my co-host for the Underdog Show, which is today, earlier in the day. And he's doing 3 presentations. Okay, this guy's killing it. He's doing 3 presentations because he's building his playlist that he's going to be putting up on our platform so that he can earn passive income while he's sleeping, doing whatever it is he wants to do. His presentations are going to be on TEDx and TED Talks, everything you need to know about that. Then at 4 o'clock Eastern time, which is 9 o'clock British Summer Time, we have It's All About Dating with co-host Lisa Manioki, and we have Dr. Nancy Lee. She's sort of a legend. She is going to be joining us. And then finally, we have A Better You. And who's joining us? Mariska Dupree. She is in New Zealand, and she's also a life coach, and she's going to be sharing one of her lessons. She's also building her playlist. So that's it. I have to run because the sun's coming down on me, and I like things to be perfect, so I don't want to have a broken screen. So I'll see you all tomorrow. Please join me for yoga, a line mat. Go to my website, book your session, or just watch us and comment if you will. All right, we'll see you again. Take care. Hello, I'm Dr. Jacalyn. Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn presents A Better You. And here to tell us more is the creator of A Better You, Al Cini. Al, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn. It's always a pleasure working with you and everyone out there. You know, you might be a coach working with individuals professionally or personally, or you might be a consultant working with businesses, or you might be a trusted advisor specializing in an area like finance, let's say, or the law or healthcare. Whatever of those roles you relate to, you all have one thing in common, and that is you're working every day to help people become better versions of themselves, a better you. And Dr. Jacalyn's A Better You program is an opportunity for you to express your expertise in a particular area for 15 minutes in front of an audience of people who are looking for help from people like you.
Yep.
So, Dr. Jacalyn, maybe you can tell everybody how they can learn more about this.
It's so easy. You go to abetteryou.tv and you sign up to book your session.
It's what we do together that counts. The Big Alliance story. A true story about faith over adversity, perseverance, and entrepreneurship. Read Earl's story and how he became an entrepreneur. Available on Amazon, Kindle, and Audible.com. For more information, contact Earl Hurd at earlhurd@bicalliance.com or call 1-800-460-4242.